Alright, you guys read the title of the video. This will be my second last mock draft of the off season. So, yeah, of course, before we do get started, please go ahead and hit that like button if you guys enjoy this video, since it really does help out my channel. And of course, subscribe if you guys are new and you guys enjoy content like this, so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one you're watching right now. And I'm also trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, and when I do reach my goal, I will do a Q&A. And then, yeah, the notes I do want you guys to keep in mind is that, 1, there are going to be trades in this mock draft. 2, I'm making the picks based off what I would do mostly. And then third thing, I'm also going to mix things up just so it's not a carbon copy of my first and second mock drafts. But, yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get this video started. So starting things off with the first overall pick, I got the Chicago Bears taking Caleb Williams, a quarterback from USC. Yeah, not much has to be said for this pick. We know the Bears are taking Caleb Williams, so I'm not really gonna waste your time with this one. With the second overall pick, I got the Washington Commanders taking Drake May, a quarterback from North Carolina. I know there's rumors out there that they might take Jayden Daniels since, you know, schematically, he probably is a better fit in Cliff Kingsbury's scheme. But with all of that said, I think Drake May is the clear-cut second best quarterback in this year's draft, and the picks are based off, you know, what I would do mostly. And, you know, if I was the Washington Commanders, I would just take Drake May here, so. With the third overall pick, I got the New England Patriots taking Jayden Daniels, a quarterback from LSU. In my first mock, I ended up taking Marvin Harrison, and then in my second mock, I actually had my Patriots trading back with the Vikings. But, you know, for this one, I'm just going to have them stay put at number 3, since that is something that they're rumored to do, just to stay put at 3 and take a quarterback. And when you look at Jayden Daniels, you know, he is one of the best quarterbacks in this year's draft. I think he is the third best in the 2024 class. He's mobile. He has a solid arm. I'd say he is mostly accurate for the most part. He has really good pocket presence. And, you know, the Patriots, we need a franchise quarterback. And I do think that Jayden Daniels could be that guy if he can, you know, clean up the issues that he does have. And if we can, you know, improve the supporting cast. Which I pray that we do that in the later rounds of the draft. So, with the fourth overall pick, I got the Arizona Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr., a wide receiver from Ohio State. Not much really has to be said for this pick either. I mean, we know that the Cardinals are most likely going to be taking Marvin Harrison or Malik Nabers, depending on who falls to them. And in this case, yeah, Marvin Harrison, he fell to them, and I don't think the Cardinals will think twice unless they want to trade back. But if I was Arizona, I would just stay put here and draft Marvin Harrison. So, yeah. With the fifth overall pick, I got the I actually do have a trade here. I got the Los Angeles Chargers trading back with the Minnesota Vikings. So I got the Chargers taking getting pick 11, pick 23, pick 129, and then a 2025 first round pick. And then I got the Minnesota Vikings getting number 5 and pick 110. And with that fifth overall pick via the Los Angeles Chargers, I got the Minnesota Vikings taking J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback from Michigan. I know that a lot, J.J. McCarthy is either really loved or he's really hated by NFL fans. I'm somewhat in the middle, and I'll admit, this trade up with the Vikings, it's mostly a prediction. I think the Vikings will most likely trade up in this year's draft for a quarterback, and while I do have a late first round to early second round grade on J.J. McCarthy, I think he probably will go higher than that, just simply for the fact that he is a quarterback. And, you know, NFL teams, like the GMs, they really seem to like him. And the Vikings, we know that they need a new franchise quarterback. And J.J. McCarthy, while he is pretty raw, I do think that with time, if he can clean up those issues, he can be a really good player in the NFL. And, you know, for the Chargers, I think it makes sense to potentially trade back, just simply for the fact that they do have a lot of needs, so they can acquire a lot of assets if they were to trade back. So, with the sixth overall pick, I got the New York Giants taking Malik Nabers, a wide receiver from LSU. I was considering a trade up here, but I really couldn't think of any good trade up ideas, so I just went ahead and took Malik Neighbors. The New York Giants, as I've said many times before in the past, they just need offensive talent, point blank period. And Malik Neighbors in most classes, he would be the clear-cut wide receiver one. And Malik Neighbors, he would give the Giants just a go-to wide receiver that they've been lacking for years now. So yeah, Malik Neighbors, he would be a fantastic pick for New York. With the 7th overall pick, I got the Tennessee Titans taking Joe Alt, a tackle from Notre Dame. I know it might be boring to go offensive line all the time for the Titans, but that is definitely their biggest need, and I have no doubt in my mind that the Titans will take an offensive lineman here, especially if Joe Alt is available. I mean, he's one of the best tackle prospects in recent memory, and he has everything you want from a tackle. And the Titans, they need to upgrade their offensive line, and that's exactly what Joe Alt would do. With the 8th overall pick, I got the Atlanta Falcons taking Jared Verse, an edge rusher from Florida State. Now this is going to feel pretty repetitive like the last pick, but the Falcons, they just need help at edge rusher, and in my opinion, I think the Falcons should address edge rusher with their first round pick, and Jared Verse to me is the best edge rusher in the draft, and I think he would greatly improve their pass rush. And you know, the Falcons defense already is quite solid, and you know, with a good pass rush, their defense could become one of the best in the league. Now at the 9th overall pick, I actually do have another trade. I got the Rams trading up. I'm going to have the Rams getting pick number 9, pick number 122 as well. And then I got the Bears getting pick number 19, number 52, number 99, number 154, and number 196. And with the 9th overall pick via the Chicago Bears, I got the Los Angeles Rams taking Laiatu Latu, an edge rusher from UCLA. I honestly would have taken the Latu for the Bears, but I did want to spice things up a little bit. And the Rams, to me, are a prime trade-up candidate, just given the fact that they have like a lot of draft picks. And I'll admit, they do give up a lot in this trade. But with the they do give up a lot of picks in this trade. But with all that said, I mean, they are moving up 10 spots and into the top 10, so it does make sense. And you know, the Rams, I've taken corner and defensive tackle for them in the past, so let's just go ahead and take edge rusher. LA, they need help all over their defense, I guess besides their secondary, which is something that they did address quite well in free agency. And Laiatu Latu, he would greatly improve their pass rush. And I mean, it would also be nice for any Rams fans who do support UCLA for college football. With the 10th overall pick, I got the New York Jets taking Brock Bowers, a tight end from Georgia. The Jets, they might opt to get another weapon for Aaron Rodgers with this pick, since they did pick up Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith in free agency. So they might think that, hey, we've done enough for the offensive line, let's go ahead and just take BPA or, you know, just get a weapon for Aaron Rodgers. And Brock Bowers, he's one of the best tight end prospects ever, and he would make that Jets offense even scarier if Aaron Rodgers can remain healthy. But with the 11th overall pick via the Minnesota Vikings, I got the Los Angeles Chargers taking Rome Odunze, a wide receiver from Washington. The Chargers wide receiving room is just downright terrible right now, and Rome Odunze, making it here, I honestly think would be pretty miraculous for LA if they were to trade back. And Rome Odunze, I think he is the third best wide receiver in the draft. I think in a lot of classes he would probably be the best. And yeah, Rome Odunze, he would give Justin Herbert a new number one wide receiver. So yeah, man, if I'm the Chargers and he's here, I would take him. Now at the 12th overall pick, I got another trade as well. I got the Denver Broncos trading back with the Green Bay Packers. The Broncos will get pick number 25, number 41, number 126, and number 202. While the Packers will get number 12 and number 121 from Denver. And with the 12th overall pick via the Broncos, I got Green Bay taking Olu Fashanu, a tackle from Penn State. Olu Fashanu making it to 12 would honestly be like a dream come true for some teams, and I would be kind of surprised if he made it all the way here. But yeah, man, the Packers, they got a lot of a lot of draft picks to really trade up. And I think the Broncos are a prime trade-down candidate just simply for the fact that they have a lot of needs and they do lack draft capital. And Olu Fashanu, in my opinion, is experiencing some prospect fatigue, and I still think he is the clear-cut second best tackle in the draft. And with David Bakhtiari no longer there, Green Bay, they do need to replace him, and Olu Fashanu would be a fantastic successor. With the 13th overall pick, I got the Las Vegas Raiders taking J.C. Latham, a tackle from Alabama. The Raiders, again, they could go in a lot of different directions here, and I'm just going to mix it up for this one by taking a tackle. And I know the last time they took a tackle from Bama, it didn't exactly work out, but to be fair, at the time, that pick was a big reach, and this one, it's not really a reach. I mean, J.C. Latham would be a great addition to that offensive line, as he's really big, he's agile, he's strong, he's a really good run blocker, and I mean, if they really need him to, he could honestly play guard just simply for the fact that he's so big. With the 14th overall pick, I got another trade as well. I got the Philadelphia Eagles trading up with the New Orleans Saints. I got the Eagles getting number 14, while the Saints get number 22, number 53, and number 161. And with the 14th overall pick via the Saints, I got the Philadelphia Eagles taking Terrion Arnold, a cornerback from Alabama. The Eagles, they are a really aggressive team, and I think they could trade up to get a corner if they see that some of the top corners are starting to fall. And Terrion Arnold, in my opinion, is the best corner in the draft, as he is fast. I know his 40 times like a 4.51, but I think he's faster than that on tape. He is explosive, he has good ball skills, he has really good hips, and he's really good in zone coverage. Plus, he's a pretty smart player as well, and he's a good tackler. And I think Terrion Arnold would be a really good successor to both Darius Slay and James Bradbury. With the 15th overall pick, I got the Indianapolis Colts taking Adonai Mitchell, a wide receiver from Texas. I've taken cornerback in the last two mocks for the Colts, so I decided let's just mix it up for this time. Indianapolis, I think they could use another outside wide receiver, as Alec Pierce has been kind of underwhelming for them, and I think he might be better suited as a really good depth piece. Adonai Mitchell, you take a look at him, he's fast, he's really tall, he's a good route runner, and he has really good hands, and is just one of the best wide receivers in this year's draft. And, he does lack physicality, and he is a little bit lanky, I will say that, but with all that said, Adonai Mitchell is absolutely terrific, and I mean, if he went to the Colts, he would be a really good weapon for Anthony Richardson, especially next to Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs. With the 16th overall pick, I got the Seattle Seahawks taking Jackson Powers Johnson, an interior offensive lineman from Oregon. I have traded back with Seattle in the past, but I'm not going to do it here. The Seahawks interior offensive line could really use some help, and JPJ, he is the best interior offensive lineman in the draft, as he's athletic, smart, he has a really good get-off, he uses his hands well, and he's powerful. I mean, he just kind of has everything you want from an interior offensive lineman. I guess aside from the fact that he's not really the most versatile, but I mean, JPJ, he would really improve that Seahawks offensive line. With the 17th overall pick, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, a cornerback from Alabama. The Jags are another team out there that can go in a lot of different directions, and I'll take cornerback, just to mix things up. And they did release Darius Williams, and they could use another cornerback to replace him. And Kool-Aid McKinstry, he has started to fall due to an unfortunate injury he suffered, I guess, like around combine time, I believe, and prospect fatigue. But Kool-Aid McKinstry, in my opinion, is still the second best corner in this year's draft. I mean, he's lengthy, fast, good in man coverage, which is, a big part of the Jaguars' new scheme. And he has good hips, pretty good ball skills, and he's a good tackler. I mean, overall, Kool-Aid McKinstry is just a really good player. With the 18th overall pick, I got the Cincinnati Bengals taking Jerzon Newton, a defensive tackle from Illinois. The Bengals, they did lose DJ Reader in free agency, and while they did sign Sheldon Rankins, I think Jerzon Newton would be a really superb pickup. And, I have gone in different directions in the past with Cincinnati, but again, I mean, why not just mix things up and take a defensive tackle? I mean, Jerzon Newton, he's one of my favorite players in this year's draft, as he's an amazing pass rusher. He's a great run stopper, and if he can improve that get off, which is something he really needs to work on, he is going to be an absolute monster. I really do love Jerzon Newton, and he would be a really good replacement for DJ Reader. With the 19th overall pick, I got the Chicago Bears via the Los Angeles Rams taking Dallas Turner, an edge rusher from Alabama. The Bears really need an edge rusher to complement Montez Sweat, and Dallas Turner is a freak athlete and just a really superb pass rusher. And while I do think he has to improve his ability to stop the run, he would be a really good complement next to Montez Sweat. With the 20th overall pick, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Taliesin Fuaga, a tackle from Oregon State. The Steelers have a really big hole at tackle outside of Broderick Jones, and Taliesin Fuaga would be just a great pickup here at pick 20. I mean, he is really big, he's a complete mauler, he uses his hands well, he plays with a really good pad level, and he's a really good run blocker. And the Steelers' offensive line, as I said before, it really could use some improvements, and Taliesin Fuaga would be a great addition. With the 21st overall pick, I do actually have a trade here. I got the Cardinals trading up with the Dolphins. I got the Dolphins getting pick 27, pick 71, and pick 162, while Arizona gets pick 21. And with the 21st overall pick via the Dolphins, I got the Arizona Cardinals taking Quinyon Mitchell, a cornerback from Toledo. The Cardinals have several holes on defense, including cornerback, and Quinyon Mitchell, despite the fact that he is coming from a smaller school in Toledo, he is amazing and one of the best corners in this draft. Arguably the best. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, he's really fast, he has fantastic ball skills, he has good instincts, and he's a pretty good tackler. And the Cardinals, they need a number one corner, and Quinyon Mitchell could be just that guy. And the Miami Dolphins, I think I've said it in the past before, they don't really have a lot of assets, so I do think that they could be a team that does trade down. So, yeah. With the 22nd overall pick via the Eagles, I got the New Orleans Saints taking Brian Thomas, a wide receiver from LSU. The Saints need another wide receiver after Michael Thomas's departure, and Brian Thomas is one of the best receivers in this draft, as he's big, he's really fast, he's a pretty good route runner, and he has good hands. And along with that, Brian Thomas is from Louisiana, and of course, he went to LSU. But yeah, man, Brian Thomas, he would be a great addition to this Saints team, and I think he would be really good next to Chris Olave. With the 23rd overall pick, I got the Los Angeles Chargers via the Vikings, via the Texans, and via the Browns. I got them taking Jordan Morgan, a tackle from Arizona. The Chargers need a tackle opposite of Rashawn Slater, and Jordan Morgan, he does play left tackle, so one of him or Rashawn Slater would probably have to go to the right side, and I can understand if you would take Amarius Mims here, because he is a right tackle instead of a left tackle, but Jordan Morgan, I think he is like the fifth best tackle in this year's draft. He does have inconsistent footwork and inconsistent play strength, but Jordan Morgan is athletic, he is a good pass blocker, he's pretty big, and he uses his hands pretty well. And the Chargers, they do need a tackle opposite of Rashawn Slater, and Jordan Morgan, I think he would be a really good reinforcement to that offensive line. With the 24th overall pick, I got the Dallas Cowboys taking Troy Fautanu, an interior offensive lineman from Washington. I mean, I would like to be different here with the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys should go offensive line in the first round. I mean, Troy Fautanu, he can play tackle or guard. He's pretty athletic, he's a good run blocker, and he uses his hands well. I think his pass blocking can improve, but Troy Fautanu would be a really good addition to a Cowboys offensive line that, does have quite a bit of holes on it. With the 25th overall pick, I got the Denver Broncos via the Green Bay Packers taking Bo Nix, a quarterback from Oregon. The Broncos do need a long-term answer at quarterback, and Bo Nix could really be that guy. And I think this would be the ideal, a scenario for Denver if they want a quarterback in this year's draft, while also being realistic, which is, of course, trading back with the team, acquiring some assets, and then landing someone like Bo Nix. I mean, Bo Nix, he's a solid all-around player who can play in and out of structure. He has a good arm, he is mobile, he's accurate, and he's a good decision maker. Only concerns with him is the fact that he is old for an NFL prospect, and Oregon's offensive system it did simplify reads for him. But with all of that said, I think Bo Nix could be the franchise quarterback that Denver has been looking for since like 2016. With the 26th overall pick, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking Graham Barton, an interior offensive lineman from Duke. The Buccaneers' interior O-line is just not very good, and it's a large reason why their run game was so lackluster last year. I mean, and Graham Barton, he's super versatile. He can play all over the offensive line. He's a really good run blocker. He's physical, and he does have pretty good hand placement. I just think he needs to improve his pass blocking, which is, inconsistent at the moment. But if he can clean that up, then Graham Barton could be a real chess piece and a really good addition to this offensive line. With the 27th overall pick, I got the Miami Dolphins via the Cardinals and via the Texans, taking Byron Murphy II, a defensive tackle from Texas. The Dolphins lost Christian Wilkins and a few of their main, starting defensive tackles from this past season, and right now their interior D-line is just really weak, and Byron Murphy, I think he's the clear-cut second best defensive tackle in the draft. I mean, he's really explosive and agile. He's a really good pass rusher, and he has a really good motor as well. I will say he can struggle against double teams, but I think Byron Murphy would be a really good addition to this defensive line, and he could be a really good replacement for Christian Wilkins. With the 28th overall pick, I got the Buffalo Bills taking Ladd McConkey, a wide receiver from Georgia. Now, I was originally going to take Chop Robinson here, but the Stefon Diggs trade obviously went down recently right after I finished this script. So I had to go back and I changed it up, and I got the Bills taking Ladd McConkey. I mean, Ladd, he's not super big, and he's not very good at coming down with contested catches, but he is a superb route runner. He's really fast. He's a good yak threat, and he can work all levels of the field. And, the Bills, you can say whatever you want about Stefon Diggs' character. Some of those things I would agree with, but they do need a replacement for Stefon Diggs. And Ladd McConkey, he would be a really good replacement. With the 29th overall pick, I got the Detroit Lions taking Nate Wiggins, a cornerback from Clemson. The Lions badly need a number one corner to complete this team, and Nate Wiggins, I do think he is a little bit worse than Cooper DeJean as a prospect, but I feel like the Lions already have a guy like Cooper DeJean with Brian Branch, and, Nate Wiggins, he would still be a pretty good pick. I mean, he's pretty tall, he's really good in man coverage, he's super fast, he's a smart player, and he has really good hips. It's just that he's a little bit thin, and he does lack physicality, but if he does pan out, then the Lions would finally have a bona fide number one corner, which is one of the few things they need to win a Super Bowl. With the 30th overall pick, I got the Baltimore Ravens taking Amarius Mims, a tackle from Georgia. The Ravens, they do need a tackle opposite of Ronnie Stanley, and even then, I mean, Ronnie Stanley, he has declined a little bit, and he does have his injury concerns, and I think I have said it in the past before, but the Ravens, they can go in a lot of different directions here, but Amarius Mims, while he has dealt with injuries at Georgia, there are a lot of things to like about him, like the fact that he's really big, he uses his hands well, he is athletic, and he has really good upside, and I do think that with time, Amarius Mims could be an absolute monster. With the 31st overall pick, I got the San Francisco 49ers taking Cooper DeJean, a cornerback from Iowa. Now, Cooper DeJean making it all the way here is pretty surprising, but with the way things fell, I mean, yeah, he's at 31, and I mean, if Cooper DeJean was at 31, talk about a damn steal. I mean, Cooper DeJean, he can play cornerback and safety, he's athletic, he has good ball skills, he's really smart, and he does stop the run very well, and the 49ers, they need help at cornerback, and I think he would be an absolutely just superb pickup for them. And with the last pick in this mock draft, I got the Kansas City Chiefs taking TJ Tampa, a cornerback from Iowa State. With L'Jarius Sneed gone, I decided, you know what, let's be a little bit different here and take a corner in the first round, which, I mean, it could happen. TJ Tampa, he's tall, he has really solid ball skills, he can play in man and zone coverage, and he's pretty lengthy as well. I do think he has to improve his hips, which, they can be pretty tight, and he has to wrap up as a tackler, but if TJ Tampa can clean up those issues, then I think he could be a really good replacement for L'Jarius Sneed. But that's going to do it for this mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. again, like and subscribe, do all of that. And then, yeah, check me out on social media. The links to my Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. But without further ado, I'm out, you guys.